Every season, the meta settles. Everyone runs the same 5 guns. And every season, there are weapons sitting right there in your loadout menu, no sense for how little they get used. A shotgun that one-shots at 50 meters. A sniper with a faster ADS than most SMGs. A gun with literally zero recoil. These guns shouldn't be this good, but they are. Number 1. There is a shotgun in this game that can one-shot you from 50 meters, and it has aim assist that literally soft locks onto your target. The Argus is a shotgun with a playstyle of a marksman and the perks of a shotgun. By that, I mean it can one-shot up to 50 meters, as long as your shot can register and your aim is correctly centered on the enemy. And here's what truly makes it unfair. It has the shotgun aim assist, which has a soft lock type, exclusive to shotguns and a few exceptions, as well as a tracking help, which is not exclusive to shotguns. Pair that with mobility unheard of, and you've got yourself the best weapon imaginable in Team Deathmatch. And it's not even close. Pair it with something a little flexible as your secondary and you're good to go. The Argus dominates at range for a shotgun, but what if you want to get in people's faces and make them feel helpless? These next 2 guns do that better than anything in the game. For each gun today, we prepared 1 to 3 stats which are worth mentioning, and honestly on the MX9, it pretty much summarizes everything. 4.95 meters per second of strafe speed, and 150 milliseconds of ADS time. These 2 stats alone make the MX9 the greatest run-and-gun weapon in the entire game, feeling-wise. It doesn't have the best range and damage stats, even though they are great. It doesn't have the best mag stats, even though they're great. But the feeling this gun gives you is honestly empowering. You honestly feel like God, and that's a feeling you don't get with much more weapons. The MX9 is fast because of how quickly it aims, but the next gun is fast because of how quickly it shoots. The MAC-10 is a similar beast. 4.96 meters per second of strafe speed, 200 milliseconds of ADS time, but it has a much faster fire rate at 1200 RPM. So unlike the MX9 which feels fast by being incredibly fast on the ADS speed and the strafe speed, the MAC-10 is fast by strafing fast and shooting fast. While the MX9 ADS is fast, the MAC-10 shines through hipfire and close range. So yes, you don't have the same feeling of close quarter demon, but you have similar performances. And those 2 guns can rival with the best in CQB, such as the Fennec or the VMP. So yes, they aren't as versatile, I get it, but there are definitely picks you can get value from and have fun with. Those 2 are the kings of close range. But what about the other end of the spectrum? Because the next gun has the longest consistent 4-shot kill range of any assault rifle in the game. And it's not even close. If you thought the LK24 was the king of long-range 4-shot kill ARs, you'd be mistaken. The M16 with a wildfire perk is the undeniable 4-shot kill long-range assault rifle with 54 meters of consistent 4-shot kill and an infinite potential 4-shot kill with upper body shots. This is the perfect piece of equipment for long-range fights. Pair that with an okayish handling and a particularly good feeling, highly subjective, I'll admit, and you've got yourself a quite exotic pick with really good efficiency. The M16 with a wildfire perk owns long range with an AR. But what about snipers? Because there's an OG that most people forgot about, and its fire rate is genuinely absurd. The Arctic 50 was an OG goated sniper, able to one-shot, spam, without flinch, and with the OG blank scope timing which was quite broken. Nowadays, where is it? Well, we got a sub 350 millisecond ADS time sniper with a crazy good fire rate at 120 RPM. Is it good? Well, most people will say no, but actually, it's a fair competitor against the usual respawn snipers apart from the big 2. And thanks to that super fast fire rate, you can get some of the most absurd clips. Now, real quick, don't stay ADS'd on this. This ain't a right tech or I don't know what else. You're meant to ADS out and back in after each shot in order to see where to aim. If you stay ADS'd, unless you use a tactical scope with a very low zoom, 3x or 1.5x, you will not see anything. Also worth noting, you get the 60 meter range of the DLQ's one-shot kill hitbox with a 500 millisecond fire interval. That's a lot of follow-up potential if you miss the first shot. The Arctic 50 is the speed sniper, but if you play S&D and you're still running a Tundra or a Locust, the next gun might change your mind. The 3-line rifle. This one is a little bit underrated, if not totally underrated. I've seen people run the Tundra and the Locust in S&D for months, while this thing sits in the dark for no reason. 320 milliseconds of ADS time, shorter than basically anything. 1.8 flinch, only beaten by the HDR, and not by that much. Far ahead of the Tundra on the two stats I just mentioned. Good black scope timing, like honestly, this should be the #1 sniper. The little ick is that the ADS animation is quite bad, I'll agree with that, but aside from this, it's not bad enough to justify its total absence in S&D games. Two snipers that deserve way more play. But the next gun isn't a sniper. It's a two-shot kill machine that strafes faster than most SMGs, and almost nobody talks about it. Among all these semi-auto two-shot kill weapons in the game, the ASVAL FMJ is both the least iconic and the most absurd one. The SKS, the Type 63, the M67 AMAX, and the SO14 are all much more common thoughts when we speak about the semi-auto two-shot kill. But the ASVAL FMJ stands out for one particular reason. When we say usually about the Type 63, that it's much more mobile than the SKS, by that we mean that it ADSs faster or it strafes a little bit faster. The ASVAL FMJ is another breed. 4.5 meters per second strafe and sub 300 milliseconds of ADS time. All that with 47 meters of two-shot kill. I mean, yes, this ain't as spammy as the others, but it's impressive when it comes to outstrafing anything with a two-tap gun. Honestly, very funny, but tricky to handle due to the strafe. But hey, it's very funny and powerful. The ASVAL FMJ is tricky but rewarding. But what if you just want a gun that does everything well and requires zero thought? The next one is exactly that. The Grau is not my favorite gun, I'll tell you that. But one thing it's really good at is letting you exploit every single nanogram of potential it has in it, with the best handling in the game by far, by being a fairly mobile pick, with a really large 60-round mag, a clean and non-shaky iron sight, and absolutely no recoil. So to summarize, this gun feels good, is easy to use, and has absolutely no visible flaw. By that I mean anything that is not a range or a BSA default. Well, that makes it the perfect beginner gun to be honest, or one of the funniest to pick when you're good at the game, but just don't want to think at all. The Grau is easy because everything is on the surface, but the next gun, everything makes it great is hidden underneath, and once you figure it out, it's better than almost anything in the meta. While the Grau shines through handling stats but not visible ones, the Peacekeeper is basically its direct opposite on that matter. With a mid handling, it doesn't feel great when you're new with it, but on the submerged part of the iceberg, this thing is a blast. Better range than any flex AR in the game, period. Equal or better BSA than our usual suspects, XM4, Type 19, RAM 7. And an incredible flinch stat. And for the immersed part of the iceberg, it is far from bad in any way. Mobility stats are through the roof. Mag stats are just magical for aggressiveness, with a short mag and a sub 1 second reload time. The only thing stopping you from performing with this gun is the recoil, and it is manageable. The Peacekeeper shines through its invisible stats. But there's one more gun that does the same thing, and it might actually be better. You've probably seen it all over ranked this season, and there's a reason we've been talking about it for over a year. Similarly to the Peacekeeper, the AGR 556 is a gun which shines through its invisible stats. And yep, we see quite a big drop in popularity with the AGR, but it can be explained simply. The free Mythic version was available for a limited amount of time. Now people don't have it, and until they unlock it, we'll probably not see it at all. Now that we've established that, how good is it? Well, it beats every flex AR range-wise, including the Peacekeeper. It beats every flex AR mobility-wise, including the Peacekeeper. And it has a large mag than all of them, making it a little easier to manage at first when you're not used to it. Why isn't it good? Well, the Mythic skin takes a little bit of time to unlock. I'm only halfway through it, and it solves 3 of the 4 problems this gun has. Bad iron sight, shaky iron sight, and bad feeling. The 4th problem? Bad recoil. The skin can't change, obviously. But the stats have been cracked for over a year. We've been saying it since November 2024, and we broke down exactly why. Every number, every comparison, every reason this gun has no business being as good as it is. If you want the full breakdown on the AGR 556, that video is on your screen right now.